Hello, my favorite people. Wrong intro for the other channel. Ladies, gentlemen, and everything between, hello, welcome to the channel. See, that's something y'all don't peep as like just the viewer. Keeping my mind straight on the music channel versus the culture channel. Sometimes I get jumbled up. Anyway, as we said yesterday, I still got my orange juice. What are we doing today? You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We're doing the part 2 of yesterday's video, talking about how roundabouts are proven to be safer, more efficient, and just more practical with daily traveling. Apparently, roundabouts save with traffic, they save lives, like they are a modern day invention that we as Americans and as America need to adapt to, but I don't see it ever happening. We love our intersections and that's just what it is. However, if we were as perfect as we think we are, we would definitely coin more roundabouts. But let's finish the video of why they're so important and why they're better in Europe. Subscribe if you're new here, like the video. Help your girl get to 10K, please, over on Instagram. And yeah, let me know what other content you guys want. I was planning on doing a video where I actually drive and do some roundabouts, but I already know somebody's going to be getting on to me about distracted driving, blah, blah, blah. How am I supposed to film if I can't be a little distracted? It's a roundabout. It's supposed to be safer, right? Weigh your options. But that's just a video idea I have. Let me know what other videos y'all want to have on the channel, and I'm down to do them. Anyway, here we go.
Or perhaps the time Homer Simpson drives hopelessly around the Lambeth Bridge roundabout.
Isn't that in Paris? And I saw a picture of the freaking Paris roundabout, and that was like a nightmare in real life. So basically what this part of the video is talking about is Americans' like negative perception of roundabouts, which really is what it boils down to. Actually, it boils down to two things: the negative idea we have of roundabouts and them being unsafe, and the fact that we, one, aren't the ones who invented them, and two, aren't used to them. So automatically it's a no to us, basically.
We're swerving out in a desperate attempt to escape the never-ending
That's my fear. Like, what if you just get stuck?
Keep turning.
And then like you want to merge over, but you don't want to get in a car accident. The way that I envision roundabouts, and people are like, why are you so scared of them? Have you ever tried to double dutch? If you don't know what that is, it's basically when you have two jump ropes and you have to time it perfectly and jump in. And no matter how good you keep your rhythm, you know when you try to jump back out, you're going to get whipped by that rope and it's gonna hurt. And that's how I think about roundabouts. Like, okay, I'm stopped at the yield sign. I know I'm not supposed to stop. But once I get in this freaking carousel of death, bitch, how am I supposed to like escape? And if I try to escape, am I gonna wreck my car? Am I gonna get in an accident? It's this irrational fear. I know it's irrational because like we've said in the first part of this video, they're very safe, or they're safer. But yet it's still that like, I'm not used to this thing, and you get stressed out about it and like get into your own head, and inevitably you are gonna get, I guess, hurt if you think about it too much, right?
To crash into the Queen of England herself.
That's it.
No way. Simpsons.
Unilaterally.
No wonder y'all see Americans and America in such a like negative, weird way, because this is what you judge us based on.
When thinking about modern
That's
roundabouts,
funny. Oh, not into
many
Buckingham
Americans
Palace.
tend to envision traffic circles.
The
This
golden
is an
chariot.
easy misconception because the two appear similar at first glance. Ever since the fallout of the original traffic circle that enabled high collision rates in the early 1900s, Americans were left with a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, and I must say I've never seen one of the old-fashioned roundabouts with a stoplight. I've only ever seen them with a yield sign, and even then I still again interpret that as a stop sign, just to double safety, double check, you know, more time to be prepared.
So, the assumption that modern roundabouts will be just as dangerous is formed. Plus, American drivers might simply just be used to traffic lights.
We are.
We're just used to intersections and traffic signals historically. I've found that the public sometimes don't like four-way stops where everyone has to stop and yield. They just don't like them because they just get, if there's a lot of traffic, they get kind of confused. I think.
And not to mention, I feel like, yeah, I was going to say the confusion part is definitely a big concern. And I think though roundabouts are meant to stop accidents, I think in America they would cause even more. Because like when you look at big cities or places where there's heavy traffic, people are in a hurry and this pissed me off. I hate when motorcyclists do this. This is just a side note. But instead of just staying in the lane like they're supposed to, they cut everybody off and go down the middle. It's annoying. So, I'm not going to say that. Don't get yourself criminalized, Favour. You have a lot to lose. Moving on. I just think roundabouts in America would be more dangerous, in my opinion.
I think you get the same effect in a roundabout. You know, the uncertainty level gets to people. There's something comforting, I think, to the red, yellow, green.
See, sorry to pause it again. Actually, not sorry to pause it. It's a reaction. That's what I do. But this car, like, did you just see how it's coming off? In America, this person would be like, oh, let me just jump in front of this person really quickly. And then that person would have to slam on their brakes so they don't hit this person. It would just be a mess. And then you'd have a build up because nobody knows, like, oh, I need to slow down. But it's just going to be a pile up. It's a mess.
It tells you it's time to go or not go.
Yeah, we need like a stop sign or a light
system that controls their actions and makes decisions for them.
Yeah.
Red light stop, green light go. Simple enough, right? In a sense, drivers care more about the illusion of safety created by stoplights. But when they are forced to rely on their own driving abilities, along with the actions of others, it causes a confusing and distressing experience.
Someone asked me, I think yesterday or in the video before, when you're at a four-way intersection and you get there at the same time, who goes? Well, honestly, what happens almost every single time, for me anyway, is like you both stop, right? And then like you just sitting there because you're waiting for someone to decide who's going. And then most of the time I'm like, okay, if you're not going to go, I'm going to go. And so I start to inch forward. But at the same time I start to inch forward, then they start to inch forward. Then we both slam on our brakes. And it's just the same thing over and over until finally I'm just like, okay, go. And we've just wasted like 10, 15 seconds at a stop sign. And like the line's getting backed up. And that's usually how it goes. So the fluidity of driving with stop signs and lights is not consistent. But I still think, in my opinion, it's safer than a roundabout. Because again, a roundabout is just a continuous flow of traffic and you have to double dutch your way into it.
Another theory could be that Americans just don't know how to use a roundabout.
That's a big deal, yeah.
There are certain parts of the country where they're starting to gain favor. But the reality is that people aren't used to it. You come up to this intersection, this circle, and it tells you to yield, but you're not totally sure how to use it. And you're not used to the concept of going
even
around
merging on highways is hard sometimes.
So it's a matter of just people getting comfortable with it and used to it.
Yeah.
And that comes with critical mass. The more of them there are, the better. So
yeah, critical thinking while driving is not, I think, something everyone in America is equipped with. So I'd rather just be on the safer side and have a light tell me, okay, you need to stop now. Okay, you need to go now. Because even then, some people aren't paying attention and you have to honk at them. And then they get road rage because you honked at them.
So I think that's what the main reluctance is.
Many states don't even require teenagers to navigate one during the road skills driver's exam
I never had to
obtain their licenses. Even in the turn section on the Virginia State Driver's Evaluation, the roundabout portion reads only, if available. American drivers end up learning how to drive through a roundabout during their first real-world encounter with them.
No, because when you say it like that, that sounds so backwards and ridiculous. When I think of my driving test, aside from driving on the main road, the only like niche things I had to do was reverse 100 feet in a straight line and parallel park. There was no teaching about yielding. There was no teaching about a roundabout, how to enter, how to exit, who has the right of way in one or anything like that. Like you just do it and hope for the best. Now that's kind of crazy. We need to be able to learn about that stuff and like, driving over train tracks, all this kind of stuff. It's important. That just made me think of that. We weren't taught about roundabouts, and that's also a big factor of probably my irrational, as y'all say, fears of them, because it wasn't a thing here.
This can cause a stressful experience due to the lack of familiarity. Therefore, the disdain for the experience is established.
I'm not used to it, so therefore I hate it, and it's bad. A very American way of thinking.
Lastly, it comes down to awareness. Many Americans don't know how beneficial roundabouts are.
I do now because I reacted to this video.
Roundabouts reduce vehicle collisions by 38%. They are also cheaper to construct, reduce congestion, and are better for the environment. Roundabouts save about $5,000 to $10,000 per year due to the reduced maintenance and electrical cost.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the stoplights, you don't have to power them with a roundabout. It's literally just yield signs with the little circle arrows. That's actually really smart. Like, you get to save money, save on your taxes. More money to go to our military. Yee!
They also improve traffic flow.
That was a joke.
Cars do not have to stop and wait for the light to change. One study of 3 locations in New Hampshire, New York, and Washington found an 89% average reduction in vehicle delays and a
Nice.
56% average reduction in vehicle stops in areas
Okay.
where roundabouts replace
I'm still
intersections.
stopping. I'm sorry.
Another study in Kansas across 11 intersections
Kansas
found
has
similar
roundabouts?
results, with a 65% reduction in delays and a 52% decrease in traffic stops. Because of the reduction in traffic delays
Because it's
and
just a
stops,
constant flow.
roundabouts have a relatively non-existent carbon footprint. One study in Sweden found an
Carbon
average
footprint.
reduction in carbon emissions by 29%.
So the carbon footprint, carbon emission stuff is because you're not stopping. Then your gasoline out of your vehicle isn't filling up the air. Is that what she's talking about here? There was a video a while ago where I was like, what's going on with the economy, or not the economy, the environment in England? Like there was a lot of hoopla about it. Is this like part of it? Emissions and stuff? Someone explain.
In Sweden found an average reduction in carbon emissions by 29% and a reduction in fuel consumption by 28%. Fortunately, it is proven that more and more Americans are coming around to accepting and using roundabouts. Studies show that once
It's still
drivers
scary,
learn
but I
how to
think they're
use them,
beneficial.
their attitude towards roundabouts drastically changes. Community surveys where roundabouts were built shows that only 30% of people approved of them before construction, but approval increased to about 50 to 70% after they were built. So, while modern roundabouts may
It's
not be
stressful.
widely popular in the US, Americans are slowly coming back around to the idea of them.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think the benefits and the pros are there. It's just when you actually like want to implement it, and then drive on it, it's a whole other story. Because when you get so used to one thing and you're not really educated on something and you've never used it practically, it's like, how do you just go from doing one thing to all of a sudden this whole switcheroo into roundabouts? Like, let me know if y'all want me to do the roundabout video and I will go out there and practice. It would probably have to be in a neighborhood at first, because I'm, again, still not comfortable in like doing it in a major city or anything like that. Like, heck no. So yeah, that's a video we could do. Next up, I think I'm gonna do like the car brand videos, because I definitely want to see. Someone said I said Peugeot wrong. Isn't that the lion? It's that Renault is the diamond, and then the P word with the God at the end is the lion. So we're going to check out more car brands in Europe, because like I said, y'all aren't out here driving no Chevys and Fords in Europe, and we're not out here driving your little diamond cars either. So it's very different, and I just want to, I don't know, it's something cool to learn about, like the differences in our car brands. Subscribe if you're new here and you like the culture content, like the video, let me know other videos you want to do on the channel, and I will see you probably today. I think I'm going to do 2 videos today, and then I'll see you again tomorrow. At this point, I'm a part of your daily routine, so yeah. Love ya. See you later. Bye.